Hello students, welcome to the class of Pole Science of class 9, and today we will go through the revision of chapter number 1, that is what is democracy and why democracy. Previously we studied about the definition of democracy, then difference between democratic and non-democratic government, features of democracy. Then we also read about the second features of democratic in order to understand what had actually happened in Pakistan. And today we'll start with another topic, that is free and fair electoral competition. That means this feature earlier it was the second feature, and today we will read the third feature elaborately, that is free and fair election. So in democracy the rulers must be truly people's representatives. That means what? In a democratic form of government, the rulers means the rulers or the leaders that we elect should actually be people's representatives. That means we have elected that certain leaders with a hope that he or she will work for us. So in true sense, if we have elected them for that reason, having a trust on them, so they should also do what? They should also win our trust through doing their duty properly. So that's why the number 1 point, according to number 1 point, it is written that the rulers must be truly people's representatives. That means how much trust we have given to them by elected them, so by electing them, the trust that we have shown, so they should also give us that same trust that we have shown to them by working for the welfare and development of us and as well as the society. So number 2 is what? To choose representatives we need a system of elections. So we know that already that if a country is following democratic form of government, that means what? According to the democratic form of government, if we elect our leaders, we need a system of elections. Elections is very much mandatory. Then only this whole process of democracy or democratic form of government will be fulfilled. Without elections, it will be not. After that, an election could have some meaning and significance only if it held free and fair manner. That means if elections are held in a democratic form of government, so when that elections will be called as or will be treated as a free and fair elections in every manner. I can tell that elections in India is held in free and fair manner when it can be said. In certain condition it can be said when no money or muscle power will be used. That means you have understood. That means if I am contesting an elections and along with me the other 3 are also contesting elections, that means it is making a total number of 4 candidates. So if that particular 4 candidates are campaigning for themselves and requesting vote, and they are not using any money power, that means they are not trying to buy any vote or any voters through money, or they are not showing any muscle power, so that means what? We can tell that whatever the elections was being held in that particular area where 4 people actually contested for that elections, they did not use any money and muscle power. That means what? They are promoting what? A free and fair elections where no money and muscle power was actually used. So in that case we can tell that they have actually successful in holding free and fair elections. Clear? A free election is one where every person has an equal rights to vote. As from the name itself, a free election is that we don't have to give any amount for giving vote, and whatever the vote we are giving, that is through the eligibility. Eligibility means we should be 18 or above, whether it be a male or a female. So we are free to give our vote, we are free to elect our leaders or leaders of our choice So where we will give our vote, and who are eligible, those persons who are 18 or above are eligible, and they have the value of one vote for one person. So in that case it can be told that it is a free election. Clear? Where every person has an equal right to vote. That means be it rich or poor, all people have, or every people have same number of vote, that is 1. So in that case it is understood that free and fair elections is held in India. After that, let us understand about difference between democratic and dictatorship. So, and in the dictatorship, we have already taken the example of Pakistan, where Pervez Musharraf single-handedly took over the democratic form of government. He can be termed as a dictator. And in order to understand democracy, we can take example of our own country, that is India, where democratic form of government is there. So under the head of democracy, power lies in the hands of people. That means under democracy, power lies in the hands of the people, means the people have the right to vote and they elect the leaders of their choice. And in terms of dictatorship, power lies in the hands of an individual. That means, as I have already told you, that example of Pervez Musharraf, he did what? Through the power, he captured the democratic form of government and declared himself as the president. That means power lies in the hands of an individual, only a single person. Then the second point under democracy is that people has a right to choose the government through election, and whatever the leaders are chosen for a particular period of time. Suppose, say in case of India, the leaders are chosen for a period of 5 years. So in that case, they are electing that particular persons or the government for a particular time of 5 years, and they are electing that through the process of election. Clear? And the second term or the second point that is under dictatorship is that people do not have the right to choose the government. So as simple as that, because in a dictatorship, if a person will dictate over lakhs of people residing in that particular country, so whatever the dictator or the leader will tell them to do, the people will by bound be doing that. Otherwise, what the dictator will do, they will either put him in or her in jail or will sentence to death. So in that particular country where dictatorship is being followed, people do not have that much of option or the right to choose. Then under number 3 point, under democracy, people enjoy freedom of speech and impression. So you can take example of India, where we are enjoying what? Freedom of speech. We can, whatever we want, we can have a say on that. And also the impression. That means we are free to speak. But remember that after having the freedom of speech, we should not speak like that. That will actually hurt the sentiment of others. So having a look at that, you can have a freedom of speech in a country like India, where democracy is there. But in dictatorship or where the dictatorship type of government is there, people do not have any rights. They are not given any rights. If that particular leader thinks that okay, this thing is to be given, then he will give, or the people will have the rights. Other than that, if the dictator leader thinks that this things should not be given, that will not be given, and in this way what will happen? The people over there don't have any rights. After that, number 4 point is all citizen is equal in the eyes of law. So again I will take the example of India, where every citizen living in this country are what? Equal in the eyes of law. That means in the eyes of law, everyone is equal, be it rich, be it poor, be it male, be it female, everyone is equal. But in dictatorship or dictator form of government, there is no equality. Clear? And the last point under democracy is that policy are made for the benefits of the people. Whatever the policies, after we are electing our leaders, they are making certain policies and guidelines, and that are actually done for the development and welfare of individual. That means us, we the people, for us also, and for the society also, so that both can prosper at the same time. So whatever the policies are being generated, that are actually generated for the benefits of the people. But under dictatorship, policies are made for the benefits of an individual. But in dictatorship, Parvez Musharraf, if we take the example of Parvez Musharraf, we can tell that he made all policies for his own benefits. So in that way, the policies are made for the benefits of that single individual only, who is dictating over each and every people of that particular country. Clear? So with this, I will wind up today's topic. And in today's topic, we read about the third feature of democracy in an elaborative way, that is free and fair electoral competition, where we have came to know about 4 points. And lastly, we read about the difference between democratic and dictatorship form of government, where we have actually understand about 5 points elaborately. So I hope that whatever the points I have made you understand today, it is now clear to you. So with this, I will wind up today's topic. Thank you.